Това е може би... Това да. Я виж сега. Пробва. Пробва 1, 2, 3, пробва. What the fuck? Защо така? Чакай да видя. Не. То за това може би. Ето, тук имам. Ето. Не ще да ми увеличава тук. Това ще го увелича от тук и това е. Пробва. Твоята кожа. Пробва. Окей, Работиме. Аз мога пак класика да отида до едното място. За всеки случай не се притеснявам. Що няма видео, бе? Пише лайв. Какво направя? Както и да е, отивам набързо. Само скоча бързо до едното място. Не, оправихме се. Само къде... Не, се разлепа. Как ще ми пратиш ли линк? Дай ми линк. Тук, че Тук казва, че е окей. Не знам. Да. Ма дай ми линк, дай ми линк. Share, нещо, не. Чакай. Но... защото е private. Може би, защото е private, знаеш. Еми, това не мога. Правят ето го. Unlisted. Долу. Това е. That's everything I can do. Хора, аз съм готов. Ready when you are. Тоест готов е силно казвам, защото по някакъв начин трябва да превключа към презентацията по някое време. Какво е това? Какъв смисъл микрофон? Това как ще ни се отрази на моя микрофон, не знам, а? Това може да го сложиш по-към тях, може би. Опа. Иха. И двете ръце ще са ми заети. Супер. И ще имам и ехо. Ами, не знам. Принципно чувате ли ме без микрофон? Can you hear me without this thing, without an amplifier? I mean, I don't like screaming, but shouting and stuff, but it's okay. I have kids, so I'm used to it. Puts an additional pressure to the importance of what I'm going to say, but wherever. So, when should I switch to the presentation thing?
When you're ready to present.
Okay. We should start, by the way, because like the first thing probably I gotta tell you, I went a little bit overboard with this. I said, okay, I should compact somehow the content, but it didn't work. It's like one of the points that I want to make is when you're building a pilot product or MVP, don't try to build everything, I kind of did this mistake. So oops, no, not you. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. Something I'm researching here. Okay, so this is not really an about me type of slide. It's kind of a selection of like my last 20 years. I'm older than I look, okay? Of a 40-year-old career path. So I don't want to bother you like what I did with the first 20 years. And this is going to help me to set some context for the content ahead. So, and that's kind of the purpose, So this kind of explains the origin of what I'm going to talk about. So in a nutshell, I've worked with a lot of companies, a lot of startups, a lot of corporations, businesses of various kinds, in many industries. So I started in well, not started. I actually started, yeah, whatever. iGaming, e-commerce, fintech, medical, insurance, yeah, education, non-profit. In many areas, I was a developer actually for like 20 years, and a designer. So uh, yeah, and although I kind of stopped coding for quite long years, I still approach this presentation as a developer working for a startup. Like I worked on it until I dropped. So and maybe you will tell later. Um, so yeah, yeah, I worked in different areas. So obviously product design, game design. I designed quite a few games. Product management. Geez, I can't even remember it. Now I have to read it because I'm not really thinking about this. Yeah, retention and conversion optimization. That's what we worked with Kate, who is like kind of business partner now, right now. And yeah, brand and marketing. And one thing I actually didn't mention here, I saw, let's say, a lot of startups as a part of due diligence processes. Like I had to like look at the products of startups, which were acquisition targets. So um, the what I'm going to talk about is it's a categorization model for product features. And why is it useful? Because basically I kind of update it and maintain it and use it because it produces results, which are, I think, very relevant for startups. So and yeah, it's not really, I wouldn't call it like a recipe for success, because like if anyone discovers it, please let me know. It's kind of a way of thinking, and the thing is, like, finding product market fit is, as you might know, it's insanely complex. It can be very confusing, and anything, I think, that can somehow simplify it, make it a bit more understandable and doable, I think is welcome. So kind of hear me out. That's what what I'm asking for. You don't have to like trust me or anything like that, but yeah, I'm just sharing my experience. So yeah, so in my experience, like, to kind of simplify. Oh yeah, another thing, I'm going to talk from the perspective of product design. So uh, we are going to talk about AI products, of course, otherwise you're going to throw me out. And I don't know. I just have this concern, Uh, mm, yeah. So uh, yeah, we are going to try. Yeah, we're going to talk about AI products. But what I want to say, Jesus Christ. Um, anyway, so yeah, uh, whatever. Um, okay, so in my experience, if you want to build a successful product, if you want to achieve PMF, and that's kind of a universal measure, and we're going to somehow talk about what PMF is, according to my experience, you have to build the right features at the right time. And the first thing, yeah, even the $1 million question is like, what type of features, and when, and that's what this model answers. So I'm going to talk about these three categories of features. Please excuse me, I'm going to use a very analog, very hardware product. I just kind of tested it with different audiences. That's a product everybody understands, hopefully everybody uses. And that's namely kind of toothbrushes. So I'm going to talk about three types of toothbrushes. Again, don't like kill me too early. Um, yeah, so the first category of features, so each toothbrush represents a category of features. The first category of features is utility. And if you want to explain it like very simple, this answers the questions what the product does. uh, Classic toothbrush brushes teeth, and utility being probably, I mean, one of the most important categories of features, and somehow it is the features that is being talked about the most. um, is that from this perspective, every product is kind of a transformer. not just the GPTs. So toothbrush transforms toothpaste and dirty teeth into clean teeth. And for example, financial software might transform statutory accounting data into management accounting data. Um, Compression algorithms might transform a larger file into a smaller file. And the GPTs transform a prompt into some output. And so a, a, a digital product might have a lot of utility features. It might do a lot of things. And a very important property, let's say, of the utility features is the usefulness. So these transformations, they need to be useful. They need to be useful. And another very important characteristic of utility is reliability and consistency. So if you want to measure somehow the level of utility of a product, you take, let's say, the number of things a product can do and the quality of these transformations. So is it a useful transformation? How useful this transformation is? And is it consistent and reliable transformation? Don't get scared about this when we talk about AI somehow, or suspicious. Mm. Okay, so another thing, by the way, is any of you familiar with the Kano model, which is also about classification of features? Anyone? No? Okay, well, whew, that saved like half an hour. Good. Um, but yeah, what I wanted to say is that there are products which do not require utility to exist as products. For example, art doesn't have any utility, doesn't transform anything. Which reminds me that these type of transformations, by the way, they're external to the user. They're environmental. Let's put it like that. Art objects, they don't transform anything, especially outside. In That's yeah. Please, I kind of encourage you. If you don't agree with me, I'm gonna debate you later or now. Depends how quick I think I'm going to persuade you. I mean, really, I don't need to persuade you. Kind of hear me out. But what exactly? Anyway, tell me what you don't agree with. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's the third category of features. Yes. Yeah. That's the thing. But doesn't change anything. Like you can't use it to like nail a nail in some wood or anything like that. You could absolutely, but you're going to ruin it. Yeah, absolutely. So there are. I mean, all of these feature categories, they do give some value to the user. Art. Yes, we're going to go there. Second category, efficiency, represented by the electric toothbrush, which kind of does most of the work for you because it has this electric motor. Um, so efficiency category, this is like about how the product does what it does. The interesting thing about efficiency, there are a lot of interesting things about this category, but one of the important characteristics is that efficiency can improve, let's say, utility type of features, or it can improve the third category of features. And efficiency basically means making a product more, let's say, more accessible, producing it cheaper, like making it cheaper. Like right now, and this is the first time we're mentioning AI in some meaningful context. One of the competition is to make cheaper models. Like Chinese kind of opened um, this competition with this whale thingy. Anyway, so that's efficiency. There's definitely an efficiency feature. There's a huge kind of subcategory of efficiency features, which is about efficiency of use, where the UX kind of design falls into, like making. I don't like the term UX, by the way. I'm not that type of designer. Um, but I do acknowledge that you can make a product more easier to use. Definitely, there's a lot of efficiency you can apply there. Uh, yeah. What else? Some feature might improve the product's ability to perform the utility faster. For example, it might remove some tasks. There's a lot of efficiency, I suspect, in AI products hidden. So anyway, by the way, if you want to kind of read more, I kind of tried to um, uh, write about these things in a kind of a formal way on our site, thepilotproduct.com. This is not a promotion of the website. It's yeah, just if you want to read more. Okay, because the website is not monetized anyway. Third category, obviously engagement, represented by the smart toothbrush, which doesn't like nothing of the added engagement features really affects the utility. It still brushes teeth. Doesn't affect the efficiency. It is an electric toothbrush. But what it does affect is, you're absolutely right, it affects how you feel about using the product. So generally, engagement features, they kind of give you reasons to use the product, which are kind of apart from its utility and apart from its efficiency. So, for example, you might hear from a user, kind of, oh, okay, doesn't really teach me languages. It's probably not the best use of my time or my money, but I still use Duolingo anyway. So Duolingo is a perfect example of a product which is kind of oriented around engagement. Um, so the interesting thing about so this toothbrush, it gives you like smiley faces and things like that. Again, doesn't change much about the environment, but changes stuff inside. Very kind of important distinction. So utility is about changing stuff which are outside of you, like objective, and engagement is changing the subjective kind of states of the user. Usually, of course, um, with the aim of boosting the subsequent use of the product. Anyone disagreeing so far? Sounds kind of logical. Okay, good. So yeah, so these are the three categories, and the way kind of I look at products is kind of like this. So um, a product is kind of a mix of these features. That's yeah. You see it? Enjoying the animation. Good. 'Cause this took me some time. For example, but I just couldn't resist it. So yeah, so that's basically what we're going to talk about from here on, and you're going to see finally the application of this model, this categorization, and like the problems it solves, which are most about like what do we do, because if you remember in the beginning, I kind of stipulated that to make successful product, you have to build the right features, so the right feature mix. Now I can say in the right time. So yeah, let's stop this. So this is about timing and balance of features. Let's put it like that. So from here on, I hope it gets like way more interesting. At least it gets very, very interesting for me. And so uh, there's this notion which I kind of hope that it's new for you, and that's the notion that when you're building a product, you're not building one product, you're building. Oh, that's such a compliment, by the way. Please, someone else like uh, take a picture of this thing. Um, yeah. Whoa, great. Ah, I feel so good. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't have hoped for yeah. From here on, I don't care. Yeah. So yeah. I think that's again from my experience. Like everything comes from this first slide. Of all of this experience that I went through, which includes, by the way, a lot of failures. So uh, yeah, so the first product you do kind of targets the early adopters. Enthusiasts was the second category. These guys here, the second subcategory. Uh, Pioneers, something like that. There was another, whatever. So yeah. And by the way, the first thing I kind of noticed is Okay, so as a startup, you can't really compete on utility, in this first thing, because that's kind of the advantage of all the corporate players around. They have a lot of utility. Their product does quite a lot of stuff. Like, uh, if you remember how Google started and like what they have right now, I mean, they're doing everything. So good luck competing with that. It's counterproductive for thousands of reasons, honestly. So you can't do it. And then basically you are left to compete on efficiency and on engagement. And for me, after, by the way, I had some startup. Year was 99. There was not hype, but there was a lot of hunger from the market. Like right now, the AI hype kind of simulates the same conditions. Generally, if you output some product, some AI product, correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, because I haven't done it. But if you output some AI product, there will be some people who are going to try it. So I did my own product first, my own product, which was launched 99, and I kind of I placed a bet on engagement because like game design, I'm kind of naturally, this is my favorite product category and the one I kind of feel I can do the best. And yeah, so I had uh, tremendous adoption, really, like that 10,000 registrations. This was 99 again. This is just uh, there was a hunger for specific types of products. And then I didn't know what to do after this stage, and the project slowly died off. This was one of the kind of very hurtful failures because I was like, yes, I made it, and then yeah. So yeah, and what I learned, by the way, about early adopters, they're sons of bitches. Seriously, like they're not very loyal. That's something really horrible about early adopters. Like something new pops up, and they're just going to move. They're like, okay, bye. There's the next best thing, is coming. And you're like, oh shit, yeah. So this is not product market fit. I don't consider this to be a product market fit. You can get like a lot of early adopters, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, the real product market fit is here in the majority, and these are completely different people. Unfortunately, they don't really care about how cool your tech is. Unfortunately, they care about utility and like whatever. So, but there are some tricks, by the way, which I hope I remember to talk about. Um, so anyway, so this was also the way I kind of balanced the features of the second product, because I had this great opportunity to go in Vienna, join a startup, Austrian startup, bwin.com. It turned out to be, if anyone is in sports, uh, yeah, they are in the iGaming, so online gambling and sports betting, which was an industry I knew absolutely nothing about. And one of the CEOs kind of told me what kind of product he wants. I had a solution because my first kind of startup project had the same thing. And we balanced the product exactly like this, because like this is kind of the map of the product. Um, because we were competing against big players, and it's a very very competitive industry, a lot of money in it. Um, uh, and and the products, they had similar type of products, but it's the live betting, if anyone cares about this, like when you bet during some sports events. And Basically, yeah, there was competition, but there was no product which was really successful. And because it was a very old, very mature industry, most of their products were very transactional, so very very utility heavy. Not much efficiency, but yeah, you can't, like, we couldn't build all the possible utility. But yeah, we decided, okay, let's focus on entertainment. Like make the product extremely engaging. So we had, as long as I remember, we had like nine, just in terms of quantity, nine engagement features, with like two maybe efficiency features and like two utility features. That's like just in terms of quantity. Uh, and yeah, early adoption was absolutely no problem. And because I was like super scared already, I was like super duper concerned about how I jump, how I cross this proverbial chasm, like this should be very familiar to you. It's right, the adoption curve, Anyway, uh, so yeah. So the thing is, and the good thing about this strategy, because if you read here, um, there are different feature mixes, to approach building new products as a startup. And like, yeah, this is by far my favorite, but it's not the most commonly used in my experience. And anyway, the huge advantage of this one is that when you have very high engagement, you gather a lot of data. And one trick I kind of learned to use was to like extend the target market, like at least with like 20-30% in some targets which were not considered as our core markets, by the way, just to see how these people are using the product, because like if they start hack it in some way, that's extremely valuable. You can meaningfully pivot, let's put it like that, and we did some of these pivots. So okay. uh and then when we kind of started to learn, then we kind of built the second major version of the product, which by the way was like very different. It looked very different. It kept some of the engagement features, but we kind of toned it down, which is something I'm kind of going to talk about, unfortunately, at the end of this thing. But now it's a good context. But anyway, um, so so we had to boost the utility, because as I already mentioned, these are pragmatics. They are like, okay, if the product doesn't do this and that and that, I'm just not going to use it. I don't care how engaging it is, or how efficient it is. So okay, that's worrisome. uh and the thing is, that's in my humble opinion, that's where the strong market fit lies. When you start conquering the majority, then you become really big. Like the product became hyper big. It was like 2 million concurrent users, something like that. Like, and by the way, because I completely didn't realize what was going on, I kind of noticed when we started buying servers like crazy. That's like, if you want a uh, metric, yeah, for product market fit, like, just cloud storage, servers, whatever it is, the equivalent of that is a very good metric. So yeah, we had to increase the efficiency, because the product was not very usable, by the way. It was very entertaining, but not very usable. um Okay, so by the way, I hope that this kind of means something to you. I hope you people kind of noticed it, because yeah, what you do, in this thing, you kind of fit the product to a market. You can fit the market to a product, but as a startup, that's kind of very difficult. Um, Anyway, and then you kind of build the third version of the product, and I was actually very happy that I didn't build it, because we got kind of acquired somewhere here. And yeah, like if you want to really like be here, which I don't recommend it to any startup. It's a very sad place, but it's like the place where they milk the products, the hell out of them. There was this guy Cory Doctorow that calls this enshittification or something like that. Yeah, the products kind of turn into these transactional, soulless, whatever you call them, products. I think that they push the engagement part even further down. So yeah, what I want to say with these two AI startups, yeah, oops, yeah. uh Engagement doesn't hurt. Like, if you can find a way to boost it in this phase where you're in the early adopters, that's really great. There are, by the way, tons of challenges to crossing this chasm for AI products. um yeah uh, I I don't know where to start, to be honest. Uh, yeah, again, there are some ways to, even if you don't have, like, for example, if you don't have 100% reliability and consistency in results, that doesn't mean that the product is going to have a very low utility. So that's maybe something I want to say. Okay, so yeah, so kind of that's the full picture. And here I'm kind of hoping to engage you because I'm really tired of talking. um yeah, and this kind of leads into something, of course. So I don't know if yeah, sorry to use such such an old product. Like, but it's like, I don't know, everybody knows it. So yeah, so how did Google differentiate, like, utility, efficiency, or engagement? Hmm? Which, where do you put it in the categories? I would say efficiency. By the way, it's kind of interesting. Some of the efficiency features, they have engagement effects. I just I wanted you to kind of guess that, but whatever. Yeah, it's a life thing, I'm not a professional, that's not what I do. Professional presenter. So yeah, definitely. So all these were like, all these were, yeah, they were like very utility heavy products, because, Kate, when we were talking about this, I think that they, because they had like a lot of data, they were like exposing some of the things that people search for. Um, why we were thinking about this? I don't remember. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting one. Ask Jeeves. Kind of reminds me of Perplexity. I had an interesting conversation with it a couple of days ago. I asked it to compare itself to Ask Jeeves. It was very interesting, entertaining answer. But ChatGPT actually provided a more entertaining answer. I just told you another kind of thing, which I want to ask you about. Anyway, so yeah, definitely, and I hope you find this funny. Oh, actually, you can see it on the computer screen. Nice. Um, Yeah, because this is the configuration which I call showing a finger to the establishment. Like, you can't build all of the features, all of the utility features. Definitely not, because you don't have the money, you don't have the time, you don't even know which utility features to build, because you don't know what people are going to use. But you can then make it very efficient. So that's another thing. Like, if, for example, an AI startup struggles in the early adoption, kind of these are the two viable configurations, I think. Like, either you bet on efficiency and like showing a finger to the establishment, or on engagement, like whichever you're kind of good at, whichever kind of skill sets you have access to. And yeah, so but it's not just Google, by the way. Like, there's so many startups that kind of started like this. They made something way more efficient, but it couldn't do anything. Like, for example, Revolut, right? And anyway, um Revolut, didn't do everything which a bank could do. They were not even a bank, but they were doing it way more efficient. They were a bit higher here in the engagement category, by the way, I think. Um, okay, at the end, thing the mature product kind of always ends up somewhere like this. Uh, full utility, hopefully high efficiency. This is purely optional, by the way. Engagement these days, by the way, that's another interesting thing about this kind of model. Utility, efficiency, engagement is kind of an evolution of product features. Like, these days, there are a lot of products which are competing on engagement. So they're adding a lot of, like, gamification. Like Google, what did we see the in some Google Ads thing? Yeah. It is gamified. It's kind of heavily gamified, and, like, yeah, for obvious reasons. Like, they want to keep you engaged, using, paying, things like that. So yeah, another thing, just before I kind of remove this thing, um, I because I told you, like I do think that at the end of the day you're building at least three major versions of the product, and I kind of call these pilot product, mainstream product, and a mature product. Pilot product, MVP, same old. I'm just older than the term. That's I'm kind of used to it. So yes,
Does the utility always comes so high at the end because you already have a large number of customers that you want to large range of customer profiles that you want to satisfy? Is that the reason?
I mean, you worked for a corporation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what do they do when they have cash on hand? Like what do they do? They start acquiring like crazy. I told you, like I was a part of this process. Like they were sending me, to like look at startups, like basically to see like what exactly they're lying in their product. Then I was coming back with a amazing, detailed, very deep analysis, which they were completely ignoring, and they were buying the startups anyway. So yeah, that's what they do. They're trying to just like capture the highest market share. And like utility, like none of these features is none of these types of features is like or none of the features in these categories is like universal. Like some markets, they care about certain utilities, others about other utilities and things like that. That's Yeah, I mean, according to my experience, all of them end up like this. I haven't seen a product which is and we, by the way, when we worked on conversion and retention optimization for now we can say it was like way more than 2 years for companies that belong to Thomson Reuters. Man, they were like all of the mess there was a result of a lot of acquisitions. So yeah, their products and yeah, their web pages, their marketing pages, they were all like yeah, cluttered with utility. So yeah, and by the way, again, like people don't talk about these features, like this is not like something I kind of read in a book that everyone else read it or something like that, or it's just kind of something that kind of came up with along the years. Kate also, by the way, helped in the like how do we, because I did not call them exactly like this. Um, any other questions before like I ask you a question? Like I want to hear, like I really want to hear like what do you think? Um, like in which feature category do you think Perplexity can beat Google? It's just an exercise, by the way. If you don't answer, I'll just skip to the next one. Hmm? There's no right answer, by the way. I'm not like yeah. Um,
I think it beats in efficiency and also the second category. So
Second is efficiency,
the first is
utility. Yeah.
both.
Oh my God!
Yes, I
It's
use it
like
all the time. Google is kind perplexity, but they're so fucking fast, so it beats them in both in utility and efficiency. And engagement, not because it's it's
why
easier to
not?
search
Why
on
not?
Google.
Hmm?
It's easier to search on Google, so
So it's on efficiency. You mean they don't beat them on efficiency?
they beat them because you have the result much faster
Much
than
faster.
Google.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
And it's also like you don't have to search. It's like the answer is already there. I would
yeah.
I would
Even if
argue.
it's not true, you can check it.
Exactly. Yeah. Even if yeah. I mean this. Yeah. I mean. Oh yeah. 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 This is not important.
It's like
Yeah.
90% sure.
Yeah.
So just if you have some doubts, then you check. But anyway, it gives you exact answer. The
No. I mean. I gotta say, I personally, I didn't use Perplexity before, probably shameful to say, like 5 days ago or something.
okay.
But I enjoy. Yeah, yeah, I know. Like oh, no, wait. Uh, I'm here.
Okay.
Just because of age. No, not really, not really. Of course, I tried absolutely everything that I could. Um, but like because I use this one, Brave. They actually introduced. even before Google, they introduced the AI summaries, which maybe it's not exactly the same yeah, it's not exactly the same as Perplexity, because Perplexity like can output some tables. If you're comparing stuff, it's like very rich. I found in the output, at least in my understanding. But anyway, it's a good thing. Maybe now it's a good time to tell you about, because I heard already about the reliability, consistency, of um, uh, uh, what do you call it, Gen AI, GPTs. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. One that is comes from zero. Yeah, absolutely. So if I can summarize the question, uh it was like, easier and cheaper to boost groups, or categories of features which are at the very bottom, in comparison to some which are already very high. Absolutely. It's like also this kind of the manifestation of the Pareto principle. Was it like the last 20%? Yeah, good luck, good luck. It's kind of easy, by the way. It's really interesting that it's kind of easy to start with, like almost like to the max, in efficiency, or engagement. Like, for example, to make a product like extremely way easier to use, or very often even cheaper. It's easier, it's cheaper, it's faster, and also you're in a way better position because you don't have so much utility to organize. Like, you don't need advanced product design skills, which are about organizing product features, especially utility features. Like, this is kind of a science on its own, like, seriously. If I start talking to startups about organizing products, they're like, they start counting the flies, in the room, like after two words, because they're like, what? So complicated, actually. Yes, of course. Again, I don't pretend to be right. I'm just trying to summarize my experience. Like,
At least in my case, early adopters are something like a Kickstarter where you present like an MVP, get some money out of it, and then learn what the customer needs, and then with the money and with the knowledge, go into the second phase where you increase the utility in some sense.
yes, absolutely. That was, yeah, that was exactly what I said. The only thing which I would, sorry,
I got a counter question.
yeah,
Where is perplexity on the chart?
this doesn't describe perplexity in this case, by the way. Perplexity, if you like, if you want to like break it down, like what's the mix of the perplexity. Well, uh I would say they kind of try to max out efficiency, because again, yeah, in Google you get results in which you have to, like, I would want to say manually, like, but you have to, like, to go and evaluate, like, of course they try to present the first result as like the highest chance that this is going to be the one that you are looking for. But perplexity just like spits out an answer, like that's like times, more efficient. So I think they definitely aimed at something like that. By the way, I'm not saying that they consciously design products with this in mind. I do, after some time, for the last like 15 years for sure. But yeah, yeah, efficiency definitely. Utility, I don't think that they went into, because like how, like, definitely not. Like, can you like look for products in Perplexity? different results.
Yeah, so
Hey, but that's a lot. Yeah, but like that's GPT for you, you know.
what you really want, because a lot of people they search different ways. So maybe they include two or three different words. So it's when they evaluate with AI first, I think, your question, and then they refactor, and then they search with
They might. You mean that they might infer the intent better than Google?
yeah. So
Yeah. Which is, by the way, according to me, again, an efficiency feature because they are, for example, providing better results, more useful results. Like increasing, for example, you can efficiency is like if you increase the usefulness of the result, it affects, as I mentioned, efficiency affects both utility and engagement. So you can boost utility by making the the results more useful by inferring more correctly the intent, for example. um so somehow, yeah, and engagement, by the way, that's one thing which I kind of wanted to ask you later, but um oh, that's a very interesting point, but okay, so I'll just spit it out now. um
So can I make
sure.
one note? So I think every bar should be split into two.
Every
Turning every bar that you showed in the previous slides should be split into two, quality versus quantity. Because compared to
Yeah,
Google and
you could.
perplexity, we have like in terms of engagement, you have Google is way more engagement on quantity, but perplexity way more quality engagement. Like you have a conversation like situation like that. So is it
Which, yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, that's, I mean, of course. uh yeah, you could, like, I kind of tried to, yeah, I haven't included graphically, visually in the visual representation of this feature categorization, but yeah, I am aware, kind of, at least in the utility, that there's X number of utility features and their quality, like their reliability, things like that. Anyway, the thing that I again, yeah, engagement, like, if do you want to break down, according to this categorization, chat GPT at launch, like when it first came out to the public? Like, what would be your guess? Like, did they max anything, any of these categories, and which one do you think? You gave a very good hint, by the way, just at the end of your question. I just, and again, this is just my opinion, but I just want to know what you think.
They were very engaging because they were the first company to provide a conversation with the computer.
To
It
the
was very interesting for people.
Absolutely, it was insane. I think they just broke the meter. You know, like that. I haven't seen such engagement. Like, and you know, uh, and the analysts which are not armed with this model, they predicted, I think, a bit wrongly, but yeah, they were like absolutely off the charts, like, because what can be more engaging than all-knowing computer which talks to you like as if it's a human, like this is Jesus Christ. I mean, like, if I would like, I would like break down, the feature mixes according to this categorization of AI products, like by default, Perplexity gets like at least half bar in engagement. I in Google, I'm like typing something, okay, and I'm out. Like, this is something Google struggles with, like, big time. So basically, everyone who works in AI, who does a pro, is like, you piggyback on so much engagement, already, because you're like chosen from God or something. In compared to, like, I had to like work my ass off, back in the days to make products engaging. It's like, there's something wrong with me now, because and you're not burdened with this. You get it for free. And yeah, like all of them do. So here, by the way, I mean, okay, you can. Here, I'm just eager to tell you what I mean by this. But if you have any guesses, like, how did Figma manage to dramatically expand their market share in the majority, in the majority of the market? They just killed the Sketch, was it? And Figma, it, because I right. Hmm? So there was engagement, yes, yeah, but the targeted collaboration. I think that's the hint, because like what I want to say is, and that's like one of the tricks. Let's say if you're suffering some negative effects that like lower reliability, not the non-deterministic nature of Gen AI, the lower consistency and things like that. If you kind of struggle with that, and this is kind of hurting the user's perception of utility. um, like there are a couple of tricks you can do, and I think these guys they did this like absolutely brilliantly. Like you can expand, because for example Figma, it was for designers. Like Sketch was absolutely, it was only for designers. Figma had a great collaboration between designers, but Figma added utility for completely different group of people, developers. Like Figma, it was loved not by design, not only by designers but also by developers. So kind of one trick which, like if I had a AI startup, I would use was to like try to make it useful for as many kind of groups in the market as possible. Like for example, useful for not only, for also like professional content creators. Like that's, for example, kind of lagging. Like I saw that people are doing it, um, these days. But yeah, for example, creators, content consumers, content creators which don't have the skill, but they can. This is definitely there. This type of utility, like you can do amazing stuff even if you like, if you can't draw, but you can produce amazing graphics. You know, but if you want to increase the utility of a product, okay, but like put some tool for the people who can draw, but they can, like draw in a different way, or have something useful for them. For example, just uh everyone's kind of making fun of the Cybertruck these days, so I just couldn't resist it. If you remember, I kind of split um, products in like three types of products: a pilot product, um, mainstream product, yeah, thank you, and a mature product. So what type of product, like okay, or like this product, like which group in the adoption curve it targets? Early adopters, 100%. And why it can't become a mainstream product? It falls apart, man, like crazy. It's irreliable, like way more than any LLM or GPT or whatever. Like seriously, people still buy it, but they're early adopters. Because by the way, another thing which I learned about early adopters, they don't really care about utility. Like they're very insensitive to it. They don't even notice it. Weirdly enough, like they want to drive something which is dramatically different. You know, even if it falls apart. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. I don't know, like guys. I mean, for me, obviously, this is a very engaging topic. Yeah. Hmm? Yeah. No, I mean, I would. To be honest, I would buy it, but yeah, to the detriment of my experience, probably. Anyway, this was kind of a. This was like the. No. Anyway, almost half through. Halfway. No. That's the end. That's the end. So, just one more point. One more point. I don't know if it's kind of. I hope it's useful for you. But if you like go for engagement, you have to keep this in mind, or especially if you inherit already engagement from because of the GPTs. So this is something which I discovered not so long ago, like 10-ish years, because I was coming from like game design and like engagement to the max. I got the incredible chance to redesign the website of the UNFCCC, their carbon offset platform. and which still exists, by the way, and still looks like this. So like it aged very well for 10 years. Like I'm super proud. So I just had to give you example of this one. There are others, but yeah. And I think I kind of went a bit overboard with the engagement features. Like this thing just fell because it was counterproductive. And I was like thinking why? Because for me, engagement features, they were always welcome. But I learned kind of something that um, there's a kind of a range of the you might call it positioning range, like how people position the products in their heads, and it's like between a tool and a toy, or a product and a game. So between something which is serious, reliable, dependable, and something that is just fun. Like for example, Lego, by the way, is one of the products which is like all engagement efficiency. Does it apply? I have absolutely no idea. Utility zero, because unless you kind of glue the parts together, otherwise anything you try to transform from the environment is just going to fall apart. So and yeah, so there are, and the thing is, um when you start, let's say, adding engagement features, you're kind of starting to move the needle here, and it's kind of a dirty secret in the product design area, that these are kind of at some point they start to be mutually exclusive. Like if a product feels too much like a game, too much like a toy, even if it has the utility, even if you have built it, people are like, why, this is irresistible, why would I use it to put nails in the in wood, where I can have so much fun with it. you know a lot of guns, by the way, are like this. Everything with 22 caliber is kind of considered to be a toy, by the gun community. But like Glock, huh, Glocks here. um and yeah, so you start, and by the way, the cool thing is, there are certain engagement features which are actually extremely beneficial to the serious products. And one of them is complexity management, very very which kind of complexity management, which kind of borrowed from games. Huge topic. I just want to make a point, give examples. um Engaging guidance and progression, this is something I used. I'm going to give you an example just at the end of this thing, and that's it. uh, Guidance and progression, very powerful thing, and it's still a product. Grading systems starts to become somehow in the gray zone. Like, be careful with this. Social incentives, yeah, and like the worst of all is adding NPCs, characters. Microsoft kind of learned that with the paperclip, if you remember it. Bad for the perception. But the good news is, the golden middle is quite a wide area. So if you balance the features properly, let's put it like that, if you don't go into this zone, it's all good. And I recently kind of, yeah, after all I learned, like just like a month ago, I got the chance um, to kind of transform a product, which it was an AI product. I blurred a lot of stuff because it's very recent. It's kind of a subject of NDA, but I couldn't resist, because you're like, wait, this guy does he work on AI products at all? He's just talking. Anyway, so I added some of these engagement features in the beginning, and this completely shifted the perception, the usage of this thing. Like they don't use it. To they're like, oh my god, like this is so much, like this is meaningful. This is like, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's it. So it's like, see, like I know what I'm talking about. That's the whole point, kind of. And here, there was some other discussions, but yeah, it's evening. I went way over time. Sorry for this, but yeah, there was some stuff. I want to discuss some. Do I have like one more minute? Do you give me like one more minute? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, this we already discussed. Thanks God, because yeah. Um, this was Cursor Composer, right? I saw like one thing which was like, I was like, wow, intentionally or not, but this is like absolutely. I won't torture you to tell me what it was, but um, when I saw how the code was streaming, like feeling in. It's like it is an efficiency feature because like you have the feeling that there's some virtual programmer working for you. There's like 100% efficiency. It's like the toothbrush, the electric toothbrush, which kind of works for you. But it's also engaging because like so satisfying to see that the work is being completed, like the code is being like yeah. So it's super cool. So very nice example of an efficiency feature that had a great engaging effect. It's kind of a progress bar, yeah, yeah, but it's like so much more, so detailed because like you see the code, you're like, fuck yeah, all this shit I don't have to write. I mean, man, I get it now. um yeah, yeah, version 0, like I thought when I saw it, I was like, and thanks by the way to the team of the team GPT that kind of they exposed me to these products. I was like, um because like there's so many these days. And yeah, so I thought, okay, wow, if designers could use V2, like this shit would explode absolutely, you know.
I have one final question. Like, I don't want to close it off, but just for me, do you see that social entrepreneurship, like trying to sell an idea, is the same as trying to sell a product? Is it
Try.
trying to sell an idea
Yeah.
like a mindset or something like people want to follow? Is it the same as
Which is kind of what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to sell you the idea of this feature categorization model. Yeah, so but whatever, yeah. So yeah. This,
is it the same? Would you follow the same principles? Because we talked about products, not about ideas, basically. I'm trying to.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I haven't thought about it. I mean, in a way, I'm trying to sell you an idea somehow. I did try to design this presentation as a product somehow, a product which I never ever designed for, or almost like, you know, it's an uncharted territory. I tried to do it, yeah, and maybe in my fifth presentation like this, I'll get way better. I have another one tomorrow, by the way, in front of designers. I had like I went all completely all out in it. There's a lot of animations and a lot of shit. Here I'll try to keep it modest. But yeah, yeah, I think engagement definitely works for selling ideas. Definitely, because again, it transforms something which is inside the user or the audience. Absolutely. I would I would approach like the same way. I hope this answers the question. Yeah. Hey, about the recraft, I thought, oh my god, like if I uh, get the chance to work on this product, I would like get like tons of marketers, because like for example, Kate is a marketer, so I work with one, and I kind of got to know them better, marketers and salespeople. Oh my god, like there's like completely black hole for me, these people. But I got to understand them, and I was like, okay, if I would try to improve this product, I would like make it. I'll try to sell it. Like I'll try to make it very usable for marketers. Maybe it already is. I have no idea. Anyway, that's it. Um, yeah, thank you for your attention. Because yeah, tough crowd, tough crowd. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like what I said in the beginning, that I'm just going to talk about the product area, the product domain. Marketing can influence all these things. Marketing can make a product appear more, having more utility, or efficiency, or be more desirable, being more engaging. Absolutely, 100%. There's like, and when I put like the market and the product here, I kind of briefly mentioned that a product market fit, you can try to feed the product to the market, but you can do the same the other way around. You can try to feed the market to the product. This is one way to do it, is with marketing. There are other ways, but um, but yeah, marketing is a obviously extremely powerful tool. for shifting perception in about products and positioning of products. 100%. Like and product is just like one tool to do it. Like these guys, the team GPT, they got the early adoption from, was it like educational events or something like that, right? So outside the product, that's what I know as a story.
Yeah, well, users came through education.
Yeah, yeah.
We were advertising a course for ChatGPT because people didn't know what actually this is, and they stayed for the to do their work.
Yeah, yeah. So this is just like, it's kind of I really try to do it like to make it brief, because at the end of the day, this is a small part of everything that you can do to make a product successful, business successful, and stuff like that. But after all, I'm a product designer. Kind of that's my universe, So again, yeah.
Thanks so much. Great keynote.
Uh,
Yeah, I hope you're gonna be around. So I guess some other people have more questions for you, so they can chat with you. You're gonna
Yeah.
be here for the next 30 minutes or something.
yeah. I'm like so hyper now that just like give me questions. That'll be cool.
I have one question. Is there anyone else who would like to present in the next events? We have like 5 more events until we close the season. The last event is gonna be on the 27th of May in Barter. So if there's anyone from the community who wants to present something, just let me know, and yeah, we can do this.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Hmm?
Take some water. Take some water.
Yes. Yeah. Water. Water.